Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Dokkan Battle video, and today we're going to be talking about the 9th anniversary. It's only, a few weeks away from Global, so if you're someone like me, basically, who doesn't really follow JP stuff, and doesn't really look at JP anything, so you don't really know much about the 9th anniversary besides what they already showed with the first two banners. So we know for a fact that the order is going to be exactly as it was on the JP side, where it's going to be Gogeta and Broly first. So let's take a look. Keep in mind, I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. Keep in mind, unlike previous years, I only started in the 6th year, so I don't know what the previous years were looking like, but part 2 of the anniversary typically where banners were not really that valuable. Like 6th year was the Krillin and Gohan unit, I think, and then someone else. I already forgot who the other one was, but they really weren't valuable, were they? Or was it? I think it was that. It's very foggy. And then, of course, 7 year had the Saiyan Saga, Goku and Vegeta, and they were definitely passable. You could skip those. Sorry about that, by the way. Allergies. Anyways, and you could arguably say that the part 2 of the 8 year was also pretty unnecessary to pull for, because the part 1s were just so much better. You could, the reason I say arguably, because they are decent, they are pretty good, but arguably you could have said I could skip them safely. I could skip them. So even last year, the part 2, it really wasn't as good as part 1. It still was decent, but like you could skip it. This year, the reason why I mentioned all that, this year, it's harder to skip anything. All 4 banners are valuable in their own way, except for one of them. One of them, obviously, is going to be the least valuable. But all 4 of the main banner units are all powerful. And that's not really something common. Because like I just mentioned, previous years, the part 2s just weren't really that amazing. They're okay. You can skip them. But I can't say objectively, but in a way, it's kind of hard to skip any of these. In a perfect world, you'd like to pull for all 4 of them, but most of you guys only have a limited number of resources. You can't pull in everything forever. So how are you going to survive the 9th year anniversary? First, let's talk about the most valuable banners. Now, of course, for you, it's going to vary from person to person, because your box may be a little bit different than the person who's also watching this video alongside you. So let's talk about the obvious one that I think even people who don't watch JP stuff know about it at this point. Obviously, this is going to be the #1 banner you want to pull on. Not only does it have the best unit in the game, yes, he is the best unit in the game. I don't think it's even arguable. Like, the only argument you can make is like the Royal Vegeta and also the MUI Goku, who come in kind of close, but not quite. So not only can you get Beast Gone, you can get a banner unit. I think they're for collector value. I don't think they're really. If I remember correctly, they really aren't that amazing. But I don't really know much about them. But I don't really hear much about them either. But on this banner, you have they're going to be getting an EZA, the Blue Bros, or Goku and Vegeta, Blue Boys. They're going to be getting an EZA during the anniversary. That's why they're on this banner. So they're really good, from what I heard. The 8th year anniversary unit, the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and Vegeta, they're still really good. I don't know how you can make them bad. Unfortunately, we have one stinker in the worldwide download, Goku and Vegeta. Unfortunately, they are not that great. I mean, their EZA is not going to be for a very long time, but they had to put something in there. And then the 7th year anniversary unit. Keep in mind, next year, or whenever let's just say next year, they're probably going to be getting an EZA. They might I'm only gonna say might. They might actually not do them next year, but so far they've been doing the past year's unit and the next year's anniversary as they've been given an EZA to give them some more hype. You know, I think it's just because if you pulled the last year's anniversary, but then you don't really do much, you don't play a whole lot, but then you come back and say, oh, the guy I pulled last year, they're getting a buff, so I'm gonna come back and play. I think that's the reason why they're doing that. So most likely they're gonna be getting an EZA, and on top of that, now you can run them even more with the 8th year. Also, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the Int version, you can combo them together much easier than you used to be able to. Then you have 2 at the end there, who are also getting EZAs during the anniversary. So that's very valuable. That's pretty good. And then you have, I believe this is the one. I believe this is he already got an EZA, but he's pretty good. And then the Go Bros, who also got an EZA, who aren't really that amazing, but they did have an EZA. So if you're a new player and you get them, at least you get an EZA unit. They're not super top tier, but they're usable in some content. So obviously this is the one you would want to use them the most. And honestly, spoiler alert, if you care about meta, if you care about getting the best unit in the game, I know it sucks. I know this sucks what you're gonna hear, but I think you should skip everything besides pulling on Beast Gohan banner. I know Gogeta is there. He's looking at you. He's saying, why aren't you pulling me? Look at his finger raised. Why aren't you pulling me? And Broly's looking at you intensely. Hey, why are you ignoring my banner? And the Gammas are all chill, like, we know you're looking at us. But you're just gonna have to tell them, I can't pull you. I only have 300 stones. So with that in mind, that should be the one you should be going for. If you only have a certain number of resources, you should be pouring that into Beast Gohan banner. Now, if you're someone who has a lot of stones, you might be able to look at 2 banners or even 3 if you're lucky. So let's look at the next valuable banner. Arguably, is the Broly one. I say that arguably because on the Gamma banner you see Bulma and also future Gohan. So it's kind of like a tie-up between the either one. It depends on who you want more and who you need more. But we're gonna look at Broly first. Broly's more exciting because he's an extreme unit. I mean, he's a headliner anniversary unit, which doesn't really happen that often from 6 year to now. There hasn't been one. So this is the first headliner extreme unit since 6th year. I mean, we're not counting part 2s, by the way, because obviously Vegeta is an extreme unit, but I mean, whatever. So Broly is good. He is the 2nd best unit in the game when he comes out. And then you have the Vegeta, who's the talk of the town as well. I think even if you don't follow JP content, you probably know about that Frieza. And then of course, one of my favorite units in the game, the Tech Zamasu. He is so good. I think he is almost future-proof. He has so many tools at his disposal. So, by the way, I got confused. You can't blame me for this, but I have not seen their SSR art for so long. This is actually the one that's getting an EZA. These are getting an EZA. The other one, I believe, is the worldwide download characters. This one. Yeah, I don't actually have this character on my account, so I didn't even recognize them. My bad. So, you probably already wrote the comments down below. That's the wrong character, but yeah. I don't have that character, so I didn't even recognize it. And I don't remember their SSR art, so I saw 2 blue people and I was like, oh, that's them. But this is the one that's getting an EZA, guys, and they're very valuable. So if you don't have them, or you only have 1 copy like I do, this is actually going to be very tempting for you. So you have Zamasu, of course, who is like a must pull. In my opinion, he's still extremely valuable. And you have the Boo duo, who they can stack, but I don't know, like they need to be catered for. They need to be like pampered like a baby in order to succeed. And then you have Cooler, who he's still good and his animations are still good, but obviously he's not going to be in the lead spot anymore unless you're specifically running him on that specific team for me. Maybe there's like a mission or something you need him for, because that could happen. Then the Gods, who's going to get an easy A next year, I'm sure they'll be amazing. And then we already mentioned them. And then we have the 5, I believe these are the 5-year anniversary units. They're still good in the slot 3. You can't put them anywhere other than slot 3 because they get like huge amount of a dodge chance if you put them in the 3rd spot. You don't want to put them anywhere else. And the biggest problem with them is that they have key issues, like insane key issues. You could get like 8 orbs. If they don't have like perfect links, they still can't really get a super off even. So, yeah. So I would say that arguably this is the second best banner. You can get the Frieza banner unit, who is actually good. Broly, who is obviously good, and then you have Zamasu. And then the physical Boo duo, or blue duo, sorry, who are very good, and when they get an easy A. Alright, let's look at Gammas. Do you notice why I haven't talked about Gogeta's banner yet? It might give you a hint. Anyways, this is solid, but I wouldn't say this is... I would not say this is the best of all time. Future Trunks is good, and he's actually he's one of my favorite units. I would say like in my top 10. If I made like a top 10 favorites list, he would be up there. You have the Carnival Goku who at this point is really only going to be useful for like a revive. I mean, I guess technically there's multiple Gokus that are Carnival on the screen, but the tech one, I can still get away with using him every now and then, but he kind of doesn't see as much use as he used to, and that makes me sad because I love using him, but... And then the one who I've only been recently using, the AGL one, who can be good, but honestly, he doesn't really have anything super special about him. Like, unless you were looking for his leader skill or his categories that you need him for, like I did need him one time. But other than that, I mean, Turtle School is so small, like, I understand why they had to do it, because they wanted to make a leader skill for an obscure category, but Turtle School is really small. But it might come in handy someday when you need like a Turtle School mission for like, you know, one of those events that you get repeated missions from. And then the Gammas, who are good. All 4 I'm gonna make this clear. All 4 anniversary units are good, but it's the varying of good. There's a varying amount of good in the anniversary. Not everyone can be as good as the other, because then it really wouldn't. There'd be no difference. There'd be no balance. So the Gamers are good, but I feel like you should be pulling everything to Beast Gohan, and then maybe you could put some into Broly, or Broly and then Beast Gohan. Is what I would say. Oh, Bulma's here too. Sorry about that. Bulma's here too. Although I haven't, honestly, she's been only in a few of my teams that I've made. I know she's was one of the best, or is still one of the best, but I've only used her every now and then. So yeah, this is a good banner, but the one you should probably avoid if you don't like Gogeta and you don't need him. This is probably the one you'd want to avoid the most. And the reason for that is because, look at this. I wish I had my face cam on because I'm face palming. Just like looking at this is disgusting. Metal Cooler, complete disappointment. I know people like to pamper him a little bit because it's Metal Cooler and he's a cool character. No pun intended. And I like the character too, but I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. I think he's honestly one of the worst characters it is a carnival unit. He doesn't do anything. He has all those free-to-play characters, which I love in Battlefield, and don't get me wrong, I do have him I do use him for that Battlefield team with all those free-to-play ones. in the lower levels, like level 1 or level 2, he can do that. But he doesn't do anything. When he revives, it doesn't get any benefits. Whereas the Goku, the Carnival Goku, when he revives, he does get something. How is that fair? So, incredibly disappointing. And it made me sad because I think I made a video on pulling for him. And then I went out of my way to get him, and then it's just like, it's completely disappointing. Anyways, enough with that. And then the unit next to him is incredibly disgusting. Like, that should turn you off immediately of pulling on this banner. See that in Goku right next to the cooler? That should give you all the signs to stay away from this banner. That guy is so bad. I would take Metal Cooler over getting hit at Goku. Incredibly bad. Like, disgusting, like embarrassingly bad. The only solace you have on this banner, of course, is getting the Gogeta. Then the Trunks. The Trunks is good. The Gohan is okay. Part 2, 8th year anniversary unit. He's serviceable. Decent leader skill for what if you need that. But look at all the featured SRs. They're showing SRs. Disgusting. Then the rest are getting ECAs. I believe this is an LR. Yeah, they're getting ECA. They're good. So there's a few solaces on this banner. Who's this? Oh, yeah, you're not pulling for that. Then this guy gets an ECA before the anniversary, slightly. So there's a few wins in here, but are the wins worth it? No. I just feel like it's not worth it. And it sucks that it's Gogeta. Like, you want Gogeta, but it's like, I spent 500 stones and I get this Goku right here. I spent 500 stones and this is what you walk away with. This is what you walk away with, guys. This is the guy you walk away with 500 stones with. Do you want that? Do you want to spend 500 stones and only pull this guy? I don't think so. That's the problem. The fact that he's in here is the biggest problem. If he was not in here and Metal Cooler wasn't in here, this banner would probably be a lot better if you put like literally anyone else. Literally anyone else. As long as it's an LR and they're decent, as long as it's anyone else, I think this banner would already be decent. And then you remove all these SRs in here. Because they count, I believe they count as featured. So that's it. That's the 4 banners. And I just feel like the priority list should definitely be Beast Gohan, Broly, then the Gammas, then Gogeta. Gogeta is good. And keep in mind, that's not a tier list in terms of who's the best. That's in terms of the most valuable in terms of banners. Because obviously Gogeta is up there. He's probably 3rd. You could probably swap Gammas and Gogeta for the 3rd spot. But it's solidified that Beast Gohan is number 1. And Broly is number 2. And the reason why Broly is number 2 is because he's an extreme unit. He's valued highly because he's an extreme unit and he can hit really hard and also defend really well, from what I heard. The value of Gogeta is the targeting ability, I believe, but also Beast Gohan has that, I believe. I believe both of them have it. But Beast Gohan is so much better. Like, there's not really competition in terms of Beast Gohan and Gogeta, there really isn't much competition. Beast Gohan has just performed so much better. So, yeah, that's their survival guide. Definitely just put, if you only, like I mentioned, if you only have a certain amount of stones, just put everything into Beast Gohan. If you have 1,000 stones, use 1,000 stones on Beast Gohan. Because you might not even get one, but you have a chance of getting him. I hope this helped. I know there's a lot of videos already on this subject, but I wanted to talk about them myself too. So, let me know in the comment section below you guys are going to chase. I really want to go for all of them, but I can't, obviously. So, my plan would have been to try to go for Broly and then try to go for Beast Gohan, but I only just recently got to, what, 400 stones? Around 400 stones. I have 390 right now. So, my stone count isn't looking that great, but there's still over 20 days, but that's only like 40 stones. But within celebration, there's some other things that you can get too. But So my stone count isn't looking super crisp right now, is what I'm trying to say. So it'd probably be my best interest to only go for one of them, but let's see what my stone count's gonna look like later. And I want to know what you guys' stone counts are looking like too. So I'll see you in the next video. Peace.